Earth repaired us, armed us, and turned the tide of war. Captain Ethan Cole stared out of the bridge viewport. The stars stretched endlessly in all directions. The fleet behind him was battered, slow, and quiet. For months, they had run from the alien alliance. Every planet they had tried to call home was lost or destroyed. Their ships were cracked, engines barely functioning, and weapons old and worn. Hope felt like a thin thread, one that could break at any moment. Ethan rubbed his face with his hand and turned to his officers. "We need a place to hide," he said. "We cannot fight like this." "Not yet." Lieutenant Daniel Brooks, his second in command, nodded grimly. "I've been scanning sectors nearby." "Most are empty, but there is one planet that looks promising." He tapped the display, showing a blue and green world spinning slowly in the void. "It has an atmosphere, water, and signs of intelligent life. It is not advanced in space travel, but it could shelter us." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "We cannot risk contact without knowing what we are dealing with. If they are hostile, we will be trapped."
"I understand,"
said Daniel. "But we have nowhere else to go. We are running out of fuel and supplies. If we do not find shelter soon, the fleet will collapse before we even reach the planet."
Engineer Lisa Morgan leaned over the console.
She was young but sharp, with quick hands and a mind that could fix almost anything. "Our engines are barely holding together. Some of the ships might not survive another jump. We have to take the chance. We cannot stay in open space. The aliens will catch up eventually." Ethan looked around at the faces of the bridge crew. Everyone looked tired. Most had not slept properly for weeks. The war had cost so many lives. Entire squadrons had been destroyed, and still the aliens pursued them, relentlessly. Somewhere deep inside, he felt the weight of responsibility for every man and woman under his command. "Prepare to enter the planet's atmosphere," he said finally. "Slowly, cautiously. We will see if it is safe." As the fleet descended, the planet looked more beautiful. Blue ocean shimmered, green forests stretched in every direction, and white clouds floated gently above the land. It seemed peaceful, untouched. Ethan could not remember the last time he had seen anything so calm. He felt a strange sense of relief. Perhaps here, humanity could survive. The fleet landed on wide plains near a small city. The buildings were low, simple, and unlike any they had seen in their travels. No massive structures, no towers reaching into the sky, just clean lines and quiet streets. Ethan ordered the landing teams to move carefully. Soldiers like Michael Hayes and Oliver Reed led the way, their weapons ready but not raised. They did not know what to expect. People came out of their homes slowly. They looked human but slightly different in dress and manner. They stared curiously at the strange ships. Some pointed and whispered. Children ran around laughing, unaware of the danger the visitors carried. A woman stepped forward. She had sharp eyes, a confident posture, and a calm voice. "I am Emma Ross," she said. "We do not have a space fleet, but we have knowledge. We can help you if you are in need. Who are you, and why have you come here?" Ethan bowed his head slightly. "We are the remnants of humanity. Our planets have fallen. Our fleets are destroyed. We seek help and shelter. We do not wish to harm you." Emma studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Come with me. We will provide what we can. Follow me." She gestured to the city behind her. Ethan led the way, followed by Lisa, Daniel, and the rest of the crew. Inside the city it was quiet and orderly. There were no guards at every corner, no walls with weapons. Yet everything felt secure. People worked in workshops, tending machines, and discussing projects with energy and purpose. Ethan could see that this world had survived hardships, though not in space. Their buildings were simple but strong. Their tools were clever and well-made. Emma led them to a council room. Several people sat around a long table. One man, older, with kind eyes and a strong voice, spoke. "I am President Henry Carter," he said. "We know little about space, but we know war and survival." "Tell us everything. Your lives, your losses, your enemies." Ethan began to speak. He told them of the alien alliance, a force far beyond anything they had faced before. He described the destruction of human colonies, the collapse of fleets, and the desperation of the survivors. He spoke honestly, without exaggeration. Every detail mattered. As he spoke, the council listened. Scientist Emma Ross asked questions about the technology, about the ships, and about the alien strategies. She noted weaknesses and strengths in every explanation. Lisa Morgan worked alongside Earth engineers, showing them human systems and learning new methods. They discussed weapons, engines, and defensive strategies. Slowly, a plan began to take shape. The people of Earth were not warriors in the space sense, but they were clever. They understood machines, tactics, and logistics. They offered solutions that had never occurred to Ethan. "If we combine your ships with our engines," said Emma, "we can create something faster, stronger, and more efficient. Your weapons can be improved using our energy systems. You will not only survive, you can fight back." Ethan felt a spark of hope. For months, he had only known fear and loss. Now, there was a path forward. He saw the determination in the faces of Lisa, Daniel, and the crew. They had been broken, but now they could rise. Outside the council room, the city seemed calm, but the fleet crews worked tirelessly. Soldiers trained on Earth's land vehicles, engineers experimented with hybrid engines, and pilots ran simulations using Earth-designed craft. Alex Turner, one of the best pilots, laughed as he tested a small ship with new thrusters. "This feels different," he said. "Faster, smoother." "I like it." Dr. Claire Watson helped the wounded soldiers and civilians alike. She saw that Earth's medical methods were basic but effective. They used simple tools and clever solutions. She felt a sense of pride seeing humans care for one another, no matter how different their past experiences were. Days passed, and the fleet began to change. Damaged ships were repaired, weapons upgraded, and new strategies discussed. Ethan watched as his fleet transformed from broken remnants into something powerful. He could see it in their faces. The fear was slowly replaced by confidence. One evening, Ethan walked through the city with Lisa and Daniel. The sky was pink with the setting sun, and the air smelled of fresh earth and growing forests.
I never imagined we could find a place like this,
Ethan said softly. "It feels like a new beginning," Lisa replied. "We can fight again, but this time we will not be alone." Daniel nodded. "Earth has given us something more than ships and weapons. They have given us hope. Without it, we would have been lost." They returned to the fleet hangar, where the engineers worked tirelessly. The city around them hummed with life. It was quiet, but alive. Ethan realized that Earth was not just a place to hide. It was a place to rebuild, to rethink, and to prepare for what was coming. The alien alliance would not wait forever. They would continue their hunt. But now humanity had allies, strength, and a strategy. Ethan looked at the stars and felt a new determination. They would not only survive, they would fight. And this time, they would not fight alone. That night, Ethan walked alone to the edge of the plains, the stars reflected in the small rivers and lakes. He thought of every person lost, every colony destroyed, and every battle failed. But he also thought of the future. Here on Earth, humans had a chance to rise again, and he would lead them. Emma Ross and President Henry Carter watched from the city edge, silently acknowledging the determination in Ethan. They did not know if humanity could win the war, but they knew that broken humans, when repaired and armed, could become stronger than anyone expected. And so, the first seeds of revival were planted. The fleet would be repaired, the warriors armed, and humanity's spirit restored. The war was not over. But for the first time in a long time, the humans of the fleet felt that victory, however distant, was possible. The nights on Earth were quiet, but they carried the promise of a coming storm. Ethan and his crew would need all their strength, courage, and skill. The aliens were relentless, but humanity, backed by Earth, was no longer weak. They were ready to rise. In the days that followed, soldiers trained, engineers experimented, pilots flew, and doctors healed. Each person did their part, Earth was alive with the sound of human determination. And somewhere deep in the stars, the alien alliance moved closer, unaware that their prey had found a new source of strength. Ready to turn the tide of war, the sun rose over the city, painting the buildings with warm light. The fleet crews were already awake. Ethan Cole walked through the hangar, watching the engineers work. Smoke rose from engines, sparks flew from welding tools, and the smell of metal filled the air. The ships that had been broken and worn now looked alive. Earth had repaired them with care and skill. The surfaces shone, the engines glowed with new energy, and the weapons gleamed like they were ready for battle. Lisa Morgan worked closely with an Earth engineer named Jack Hill. They leaned over the engine of a cruiser, tightening bolts, connecting wires, and testing the power systems. Jack was older, his hands strong from years of work, and he explained every step carefully. Lisa listened and learned. "Your engines are clever," she said. "I've never seen this kind of energy flow system before. It is simple, but very effective." Jack smiled. "We like simple solutions. Complicated things break. Your technology is advanced, but it sometimes fails in space. If we combine what we know, your ships will last longer and be faster." Daniel Brooks walked by with a clipboard, checking each ship for readiness. He was impressed. Even though he had seen hundreds of ships in his career, these ones felt different. The repairs were more than metal and circuits. Earth had improved their design. Shields were stronger, engines more efficient, weapons more precise. Humanity was no longer just surviving. They were growing stronger. Outside the hangar, Alex Turner practiced flying on new simulators. The simulators were Earth-designed but had human interfaces. Alex pushed the controls, twisting and turning the virtual ship. He laughed as he executed maneuvers he had never tried before. The flight felt smooth, controlled, and dangerous. He could feel the potential. With this training, he would be a different kind of pilot when the war came again. Dr. Claire Watson walked through the medical bay. She watched as Earth doctors trained human medics in new techniques. Simple, effective, and sometimes unusual methods were shown. They did not rely on complicated machines, but used clever designs, natural remedies, and human skill. She realized that Earth had a way of making the weak strong, the broken whole again. The soldiers who had been injured before were now recovering faster. Morale was rising with every healed wound. In the council room, Ethan met with Emma Ross and President Henry Carter. They discussed plans for the fleet and the coming war. Ethan laid out the current state of the alien alliance, their strengths, their weaknesses, and what human technology could do. Emma studied the reports carefully. "Your ships are strong, but strategy is more important than weapons alone," she said. "We can teach you how to fight differently, how to use speed, surprise, and clever tactics. Your enemies will not see it coming." Ethan nodded. He trusted Earth, but he also knew the aliens were ruthless. "We need to train our soldiers," he said. "We need to fight as one, not just rely on weapons." Over the next days, the fleet was transformed. The engineers worked around the clock. Jack Hill and Lisa Morgan fixed engines, strengthened shields, and improved weapon systems. Olivia Green, another engineer, developed a hybrid energy source that allowed ships to fire more quickly without overheating. Every small improvement counted. Every new design was tested until it was perfect. On the ground, soldiers trained under Earth instructors. They learned new combat techniques, ways to move quietly, to strike hard, and to work as a team. Daniel Brooks oversaw the drills, amazed at how quickly his soldiers adapted. "These humans are clever," he said. "They learn fast and fight smart. This will make a difference." Alex Turner continued his training, now flying real ships over uninhabited plains. The engines hummed under him. The new maneuvers felt natural. He was faster than before, sharper, and he knew his squadron would soon move like a single mind. Pilots shared tactics, learned from one another, and practiced relentlessly. Every small victory in training built confidence. At night, Ethan walked the streets of the city. He watched children play, citizens work, and soldiers rest. The city seemed quiet, but inside, Everyone was preparing for war. He realized that Earth was teaching more than just weapons and engines. It was teaching determination, courage, hope. Humanity, even in defeat, had found allies who could repair them, arm them, and remind them of who they were. One morning, Lisa Morgan called Ethan to the engineering bay. She had been working on a new defensive system. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a glowing panel. "We can use Earth's energy flow technology to create a shield that regenerates faster. If the aliens hit us, the damage will be less. Our ships can survive longer." Ethan studied it carefully. "This could change everything," he said. "We were always afraid of losing ships. Now we can stand and fight longer than they expect." Emma Ross joined them. "It is not just about surviving," she said. "It is about learning to control the fight. Speed, tactics, and endurance will win battles, not just numbers." The crews worked day and night. Meals were simple. Sleep was brief, but spirits were high. Ethan walked among the workers, shaking hands, encouraging them, and watching the transformation. Each person added something important: a repaired engine, a new tactic, a healed soldier. Slowly, the fleet became alive again. In a quiet room, Claire Watson studied records of wounded soldiers. She discussed with Earth doctors how to prevent injuries in future battles. Simple protective gear, faster medical response, and better training meant fewer casualties. She felt hope that when the fleet returned to war, fewer lives would be lost. Alex Turner and other pilots flew mock battles. They practiced attacks, evasions, and teamwork. The new ships responded perfectly to human instincts and Earth design. Their maneuvers were fast, unexpected, and deadly. Each simulation ended with smiles and laughter, proof that humanity was regaining confidence. One evening, Ethan gathered the officers. "Listen," he said. "We are no longer the broken fleet. We are stronger than before. Earth has given us what we lacked: tools, training, and hope. We have one goal now: to fight back and reclaim what we lost." Daniel Brooks nodded. "Our soldiers are ready. Our soldiers are ready. Our ships are ready. Our weapons are ready. And our minds are ready. We can think, adapt, and strike like never before." Lisa Morgan added, "We are not just surviving. We are evolving. With Earth, we can fight differently. We can win." Claire Watson smiled. "And we will protect each other. No one will be left behind this time." The next week, Ethan walked outside the city watching the sunset over the plains. The ships in the hangar gleamed under the fading light. Soldiers drilled, engineers worked, and pilots tested maneuvers. The city itself seemed to pulse with life. Humanity was being reborn. Emma Ross and President Carter joined him. "Your people are learning fast," Emma said. "The aliens will be surprised when you return."
"I hope so," Ethan replied.
"We cannot waste this chance. Every second counts. Every improvement, every drill, every repair matters. We are becoming something stronger than we were." Stronger than they expect. The fleet continued its transformation. Old ships were replaced with improved models, shields strengthened, weapons calibrated. Soldiers trained in new tactics. Medics learned faster methods. Pilots mastered aerial maneuvers. Earth had repaired them, armed them, and taught them to fight differently. And through it all, Ethan watched as his crew regained something more important than ships or weapons. They regained confidence, courage, belief in themselves. They were no longer broken. They were becoming a force. As the nights passed, Ethan often stood on the edge of the plains looking at the stars. He imagined the alien fleet approaching, expecting an easy victory. He smiled, knowing they would be wrong. Humanity, backed by Earth, was no longer helpless. They had been repaired, armed, and strengthened, and soon they would return to the stars to take back what was theirs. Every small victory in the hangars, on the training grounds, and in the workshops added to a larger force. Ethan knew the aliens would not wait forever. The war would come again. But this time, humanity would not be afraid. This time, they would fight with the power of two worlds combined. Jack Hill and Lisa Morgan finished another engine prototype. Alex Turner finished another flight run. Daniel Brooks finished a tactical simulation. Claire Watson healed her last patient of the day. Ethan looked at each of them and knew the fleet was ready. Not fully, perhaps, but ready enough to face what was coming. And somewhere, deep in the stars, the alien alliance continued their plans, unaware that humanity had grown stronger than they had ever expected. The fleet, once broken and scattered, was now whole again. They had been repaired by Earth, armed by Earth, and taught to fight smarter and faster. The tide of war was quietly beginning to turn, long before the first battle started. Ethan walked back to his quarters as the city slept. He thought of the lives lost, the colonies destroyed, and the war that had nearly ended humanity. But he also thought of the future. Earth had given them a second chance, and he would not waste it. Soon, the fleet would return to the stars, stronger and ready. And the aliens, no matter how powerful, would learn that humans, when repaired and armed, could fight in ways they could not imagine. And so, humanity's hope grew. The broken fleet was no longer broken. The wounded soldiers were no longer weak. The scattered humans were now united. Earth had not only repaired them, it had armed them with tools, knowledge, and courage. The next step would be to take the fight back to the aliens, and Ethan Cole knew that when the time came, humanity would not only survive, it would strike back with strength, intelligence, and determination. The fleet moved quietly through space, heading back toward the front lines. Captain Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, watching the stars pass by. The ships had been repaired and upgraded by Earth's engineers. Weapons gleamed, engines thrummed with new power, and the shields glowed faintly. The fleet no longer looked like the remnants of a broken human force. They looked like an army ready to fight. Lieutenant Daniel Brooks checked the reports on the tactical console. "Enemy sensors are active," he said, "but there are no large fleets nearby. They are spread thin, preparing for their next strike. We have the advantage of surprise."
Ethan nodded. "Good. We will use it."
We do not attack blindly. We strike carefully, hit hard, and retreat if needed. We will show them that humanity is not finished.
Alex Turner tightened his grip on the controls of his fighter.
"The new ships feel amazing," he said. "We can move faster than they expect, and our weapons can strike in ways they cannot predict. This is our chance to turn the tide." Engineer Lisa Morgan and her team monitored the fleet systems. Every engine, shield, and weapon was tested and optimized. Olivia Green had developed a new energy system that allowed faster weapon reloads and stronger shield bursts. Every small improvement made a difference. Lisa smiled as she watched a test run succeed perfectly. "They will not see us coming," she said softly. Dr. Claire Watson checked on the soldiers in the medical bay. She saw excitement and nervousness in their eyes. They were ready to fight, but they also knew the risks. She gave them encouragement. "You are stronger now," she said. "We have learned from our past. We are prepared. We will survive and protect each other." As the fleet approached the alien sector, Ethan gathered his officers. "Listen carefully," he said. "Our goal is not just to fight. It is to hit them where it hurts, destroy key targets, and withdraw before they can respond fully. We cannot lose ships unnecessarily. We fight smart, fast, and together." Daniel Brooks added, "Our soldiers and pilots have trained with Earth's methods. We know how to use terrain, how to anticipate attacks, and how to act as one force. The aliens will not expect it." Alex Turner smirked. "They won't see the first strike coming. By the time they react, we will already be gone or already winning." The fleet moved into position near a group of enemy supply ships. Ethan gave the signal. Weapons fired. The blasts hit precisely, destroying fuel depots and supply modules. Explosions lit up the darkness of space. The aliens scrambled to respond, but human pilots moved quickly, performing maneuvers they had never attempted before. The new engines in training gave them an edge. Daniel Brooks led a boarding team onto a damaged alien vessel. Soldiers moved silently, Using tactics taught by Earth instructors, they disabled key systems, secured prisoners, and returned to their ships without casualties. The aliens were confused. They had never faced humans who fought with such speed, coordination, and intelligence. Lisa Morgan monitored weapon systems and relayed updates to Ethan.
Enemy weapons are slow to react, she said.
Our upgrades are working perfectly. We can continue to strike and retreat before they adjust.
On the medical bay, Claire Watson treated minor injuries quickly. No one had serious wounds.
She smiled. We are improving, she said. We can fight without losing too many people. That is the difference Earth has made. Emma Ross and President Henry Carter watched from afar through communications. They are using our tactics well, Emma said. The humans are adapting faster than I expected. If this continues, they will force the aliens to retreat. The aliens attempted to regroup, sending reinforcements. Ethan adjusted the fleet's formation. We will divide and confuse them, he said. Hit their smaller units first. Keep the pressure constant. We are faster, smarter, and stronger now. Alex Turner led a squadron in a daring strike, flying between alien cruisers and hitting critical weapons systems. The maneuver was risky, but it worked perfectly. Several alien ships were damaged, forcing them to retreat. The human pilots cheered. It was the first real victory in months. Daniel Brooks directed ground attacks on alien-controlled outposts. Human soldiers, trained in Earth tactics, moved as a single unit. They overwhelmed the aliens using speed, surprise, and precision. The alien forces were confused and scattered. For the first time, they felt fear. Back on the fleet, Ethan watched the battle unfold. He felt pride, relief, and determination. Humanity had been broken, but now it was strong. The combination of human skill and Earth's guidance had created a force the aliens could not ignore. Lisa Morgan monitored energy flows across the fleet.
Our shields are holding, she reported. Our weapons are performing beyond expectations.
The aliens are struggling to adjust to our attacks.
Alex Turner returned from a strike run, exhilarated.
We did it, he said. We hit them where it hurts. And we came back with no losses. This is the beginning. Daniel Brooks smiled. Our soldiers are moving faster, thinking faster, and fighting smarter. They have learned from Earth. They are not the same humans who ran from the war months ago. Ethan called all the officers to the bridge. This is just the start, he said. We cannot let pride blind us. We continue the attacks, but carefully. We show the aliens we are no longer weak. We are ready to reclaim our colonies and our systems. The alien leadership began to panic. Their fleets were damaged, their supplies lost, and their soldiers demoralized. They had underestimated humanity. They had assumed that a broken fleet would be easy to destroy. They were wrong. Humanity's victories continued. Small engagements became larger battles. Pilots like Alex Turner executed complex maneuvers. Soldiers under Daniel Brooks's command cleared enemy positions, and ships under Ethan's leadership destroyed alien targets efficiently. Earth's improvements, combined with human determination, allowed them to fight effectively even when outnumbered. Claire Watson treated the wounded with speed and skill. Fewer soldiers were lost in each battle than before. Morale soared. Soldiers laughed, joked, and trained harder. They were no longer fearful of dying. They were confident in themselves and each other. Emma Ross communicated through secure channels. The humans are extraordinary, she said. They are learning faster than I imagined. If they keep this up, the aliens will have no choice but to retreat. President Carter nodded. They have been repaired, armed, and trained. This is what happens when humans are given a second chance and proper tools. They will not fail now. The fleet returned to Earth after the first major strikes. Ships were intact, soldiers and pilots alive and eager. Ethan addressed his crew. We have made the first step. The aliens now know humanity is not defeated. We fight smarter, we fight faster, and we fight together. The war is far from over, but we have turned the first corner. Never forget what we have learned here on Earth. Never forget that when we are repaired and armed, we are unstoppable.
Alex Turner laughed with his squadron.
I never thought I would feel this confident after months of running from them. Now we are the hunters. Daniel Brooks clapped a soldier on the shoulder. Remember this feeling. We are not weak anymore. We are strong. We are united.
And we will continue to strike until the war is ours. Lisa Morgan inspected another engine. Every improvement, every repair, every upgrade is paying off.
We are faster, stronger, and smarter. Earth has shown us how to fight differently.
And it works.
Claire Watson watched soldiers train. They are confident, but they are careful. They are learning to protect themselves and each other. That is what will keep humanity alive.
The aliens were now on the defensive. They sent messages demanding negotiations, offering temporary ceasefires.
Humanity ignored them. Ethan knew victory required more than talks. It required strategy, strength, and determination. Humanity had found all three. As the fleet prepared for the next strike, Ethan stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. He thought of the fallen, the lost colonies, and the months of fear and running. But he also thought of the present, of a repaired, armed, and confident humanity. The fleet was no longer weak. It was a weapon of strategy and courage, ready to reclaim what had been lost.
Emma Ross's voice came through the comms.
You are ready, Ethan. The aliens will not expect what is coming next. Use your advantage wisely. Ethan nodded. We will. Humanity has learned a lesson from defeat. We will not make the same mistakes. We are repaired. We are armed. And soon we will turn the tide completely. And so humanity returned to war. But this time, it was different. The fleet moved with precision, the soldiers acted with skill, and the pilots struck with speed. Earth's guidance had given them more than tools. It had given them confidence, intelligence, and unity. The alien alliance, once supreme and certain of victory, now faced a new threat. Humans who had been broken had become stronger than they could imagine. For the first time in years, hope was not just a word. It was real. Shining like the stars, moving through the repaired hulls, the armed crews, and the confident soldiers. Humanity had returned to the fight, and this time they would not lose.
Ethan watched the fleet move toward the next target, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of possibility.
The war was far from over, but humanity had found its strength. Earth had repaired them, armed them, and taught them to fight. And now humanity was ready to take back the stars. The fleet moved silently through the darkness of space. Captain Ethan Cole stood on the bridge staring at the enemy fleet ahead. This was the final battle. Months of preparation, repair, and training had led to this moment.
The alien alliance had gathered their strongest ships, confident that humanity would collapse. They did not know that humanity was no longer the same.
Lieutenant Daniel Brooks studied the tactical displays.
They have more ships than us,
he said, but their formations are predictable. We know their tactics now. We have Earth's guidance, and we are ready.
Ethan nodded. We do not fear numbers.
We fear mistakes, fight smart, strike hard, and protect each other.
Today, humanity takes the fight to them. Alex Turner ran through the flight simulations one last time.
He and his squadron had trained relentlessly. Every maneuver, every turn, every attack had been practiced. He felt confident. The new engines gave him speed, the upgraded weapons gave him power, and the training gave him skill.
Let's show them what humans can do, he said, smiling at his wingmen. Lisa Morgan monitored the fleet systems, checking shields, engines, and weapons. All systems are operational, she reported.
Shields are stronger. Weapons calibrated, engines optimized. We are ready. Dr. Claire Watson checked the medics and soldiers. Morale was high, but nerves were natural. Stay calm, trust your training, and watch for each other, she said. We are prepared. We will succeed because we are united. Emma Ross and President Henry Carter observed from communications channels, giving advice and encouragement.
You have the advantage of preparation, Emma said. Use it. The aliens will not expect your coordination and speed. The first wave of the battle began with a sudden strike. Human ships emerged from behind asteroid fields, attacking alien supply lines. The aliens were caught off guard. Explosions rocked their vessels, fire spread, and confusion reigned. Pilots like Alex Turner moved quickly, striking and retreating before the enemy could respond. Daniel Brooks led boarding teams onto damaged alien ships. Soldiers moved with precision, disabling weapons, taking prisoners, and returning safely. Each successful boarding demoralized the enemy further. They had underestimated human intelligence, speed, and teamwork. Ethan adjusted the fleet formation. Divide their forces. Keep them unbalanced. Hit where they are weakest and retreat before they can counterattack. We fight as one mind. The aliens attempted to regroup, sending their elite fighters to intercept human squadrons. Alex led a daring maneuver, flying between enemy cruisers and hitting their command ship. The alien pilots were confused by the new tactics, and several of their ships were destroyed. Human pilots cheered as their comrades returned safely. Lisa Morgan monitored energy distribution across the fleet. Our shields are holding, weapons are effective, and the fleet is moving faster than ever. We can continue to strike and remain protected.
Claire Watson treated the few injured, her team working efficiently.
Fewer casualties than expected, she said. Training and preparation make the difference.
We can continue fighting without losing too many people. The aliens sent their reinforcements, larger and more powerful than before.
Ethan studied the tactical map. We will use strategy, not brute force, he said. We cannot match them in raw numbers. We match them in speed, coordination, and surprise. Every strike counts. Alex led the squadrons in precise, fast attacks. Human ships darted through alien formations, striking weak points, and disappearing before counterattacks could be organized. The aliens struggled to react. Confusion and panic spread among their fleets. Daniel Brooks coordinated the ground troops in orbiting stations. They disabled alien defenses, took control of key outposts, and secured vital systems. Every successful mission weakened the aliens' hold on the war. Human soldiers moved with confidence, precision, and courage. Ethan called a meeting on the bridge.
This is the moment, he said. We finish what we started. The aliens are strong, but they are disorganized. We are united. We are prepared. Today, humanity wins. Lisa Morgan confirmed final system checks. All weapons online, shields at maximum efficiency, engines ready. We are stronger than ever. Let's end this. The final strike was coordinated perfectly. Human ships surrounded the alien command fleet. Weapons fired simultaneously from multiple directions. Explosions lit the darkness. Enemy ships were destroyed one by one, their command structure collapsing. The aliens attempted to flee, but human pilots anticipated every move. The speed and precision of human attacks left them no chance. Daniel Brooks led his boarding team onto the alien command ship. They moved silently, using all the techniques learned from Earth. Systems were shut down, alien leaders captured, and control taken. The alien command fleet had fallen.
Alex Turner returned from his last strike, exhilarated. "We did it," he said.
They cannot fight back now. Humanity has won. Claire Watson oversaw the last of the wounded. Only a few minor injuries remained.
She smiled at the soldiers.
You fought well and we are alive. That is what matters. Emma Ross communicated through secure channels. Humanity has done the impossible, she said. You have turned the tide. The aliens will not recover from this. President Henry Carter addressed the fleet through communication lines. Your courage, your determination, and your skill have restored humanity's honor. You have proven that when repaired and armed, humans cannot be defeated. You have turned the war in our favor. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, looking at the remnants of the alien fleet. He felt pride, relief, and respect for his crew. Months ago, they had been broken, defeated, and scattered. Now, they were victorious. Humanity had reclaimed its place in the stars. The fleet returned to Earth as heroes. Ships glided over the plains, soldiers cheered, and engineers watched with pride. The city welcomed them with gratitude and admiration. Humans had fought with courage, skill, and intelligence. They had learned from their mistakes and used the guidance of Earth to rise again. Ethan addressed the people of Earth. "We were broken, but you repaired us.
We were weak, but you armed us. You taught us how to fight, and we returned stronger than ever.
This victory is not ours alone. It belongs to everyone who believed in us, helped us, and gave us hope."
Emma Ross spoke next. Humanity has proven what we always knew. When united, prepared, and armed with knowledge, humans can overcome even the greatest challenges.
This is a new era for us all. Soldiers, engineers, pilots, and medics celebrated together. They had survived, fought, and won. The bond between Earth and humanity was stronger than ever. They had shared knowledge, skill, and courage, and it had made all the difference. Alex Turner looked at the stars.
We have fought hard, he said, but now we can rebuild.
We can reclaim our colonies and explore the stars again. We are stronger than ever.
Daniel Brooks nodded. We will remember the lessons we learned.
We will remain united, and we will never forget who helped us rise again. Lisa Morgan worked on repairs and upgrades even now. Every improvement, every idea, every small fix mattered, she said. We are ready for whatever comes next. Claire Watson looked over the smiling soldiers. This is what happens when humans care for each other and fight together. We survive, and we thrive. Ethan Cole walked to the edge of the plains at night. The stars shone brightly. The war was over, for now. Humanity had won. They had faced impossible odds, been broken, repaired, armed, and returned to the fight stronger than ever. They had learned that unity, courage, and guidance could overcome even the most powerful enemies. Emma Ross and President Henry Carter stood nearby. You have done something remarkable, Emma said. Humanity has proven that even when nearly destroyed, you can rise again in triumph. We could not have done it without Earth, Ethan said. You gave us hope, knowledge, and strength. Humanity will never forget this. The fleet rested, repaired, and rebuilt. Soldiers trained for the future, pilots tested new maneuvers, and engineers developed better ships. Humanity had regained its place among the stars. The aliens had been defeated, but the lessons remained. When humans were broken, Earth repaired them. When they were weak, Earth armed them. And when the war seemed lost, Earth helped turn the tide. Humanity looked to the future with hope and determination. They would explore, defend, and thrive. The stars were open, and humans were ready. No force could underestimate them again. And so, a new chapter began. Humanity had been broken, but it had been repaired. It had been armed, and it had fought back. The galaxy had learned a truth. Humans, when united, skilled, and guided by courage and knowledge, could achieve the impossible. Captain Ethan Cole looked at the horizon, smiling. Humanity had won, but more than that, they had grown. Stronger, smarter, and ready for whatever challenges the universe held. The stars were theirs to reclaim, and Earth had shown them the way. The fleet rested, the soldiers celebrated, and the people of Earth rejoiced. Humanity had been repaired, armed, and had turned the tide of war. The victory was complete, and a new era had begun. The universe had learned not to underestimate humans again. And somewhere among the stars, humanity's flag flew with pride. The war was over, but the legacy of courage, skill, and unity would last forever.